I would like to welcome you all the students and our dignitaries, Maitri ma'am and Manju ma'am, to this event, Infinitum. So I would like my student Mannat to first welcome Maitri ma'am, and then we'll move to Manju ma'am later on. Okay, so Mannat, over to you, bache.
Thank you, Mom. Good afternoon to one and all. I am Manat, a sociology student, and I'm here and I'm very much glad to invite Professor Maitri Chaudhary to impart us with the vivid knowledge of sociology that she has earned through her experience. Professor Maitri has done PhD in sociology and creates young sociologists in the renowned Institute of Jawaharlal Nehru University since 1990. She was the coordinator of the Center for Advanced Studies, the director of the Women's Studies Program, and the coordinator of Global Studies Program. Professor Maitri has key interest in sociology of gender, media studies, and social and sociological theory and pedagogy. Her key publications include The Women's Movement in India, Reform and Revival 1993, The Practice of Sociology 2003, Feminism in India 2004, and Sociology in India, Intellectual and Institutional Trends 2010. Her most recent books are Refashioning India, Gender, Media, and Public Discourse 2017. Doing Theory, Locations, Hierarchies, and Disjunctions 2018. Professor Maitri has been an active member of the Textbook Development Committee of NCERT. Most recently, she, along with her students, have initiated a vlog on sociology for accessibility and informed discussions. It's an honor for all of us that Professor Maitri has taken out a little time from her busy schedule to tell us about sociology as a subject and its importance. Now, I would like Khushbu to present a virtual bouquet with a real warmth of pleasure and happiness. It would be great if we'll be meeting in real, but in this time we are meeting virtually. I'm sure that we will learn a lot from Professor Maitri. And now I would like Professor Maitri to take over the stage and show us new paths in sociology.
Thank you so
Ma'am,
much.
here's the bouquet.
Oh my God, that's so
Please
lovely.
accept our wishes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
So
Thank you
virtual
so
this
much.
time. So we hope to meet you maybe sometime later. Yes, in future.
Absolutely.
So please accept
Absolutely.
our greetings. So welcome, a warm welcome from all of us at DAV to you, ma'am. So over to you now.
Thank
Yeah.
you very, very much, Khushbu. Thank you, Gunjan. Thank you, Manju, for this opportunity. Now, I think Khushbu has to stop presenting, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, then I'll be able to present.
Students, this is a great opportunity for all of you. Yes, sociology, what sociology is about. Yes, as a subject, how it is going to be beneficial. So all this session is going to be all about this. So all the 10th class students who are going to opt for subjects later on, this subject you will, you'll come to know what it is exactly about. So over to Maitri ma'am now. Okay.
Thank you. Is my screen visible?
Yes, ma'am, it is.
Yeah, yeah. So once again, thank you for this honor and privilege. I really miss students. The greatest fun in teaching is the presence of a classroom, and if not physical, then virtual. But I hope to meet you sometime. So I sort of start beginning with sociology, nature, and scope because that's the mandate I've been given. And as I was trying to do my PPT, I saw this visual and I thought this is interesting. So I put it there. And I thought maybe we could begin by saying, what does this image suggest? This image shows a lot of people, it shows networks, it shows connections, it shows a kind of bird's eye view sociology. Now, what does this image suggest, as I just mentioned, is perhaps indicate what sociologists do. Sociologists study people. Sociologists look at people as essentially interconnected. Many of you would be knowing this definition that sociology is the study of web of relationships. And it sounds very abstract when you say web of relationships. But when you think about yourself as a classroom, your friends, as students, as teachers, talking to each other, your home, your family, your friends, your workplace, all this is the connections which bind us. What we are is because of this interconnection that exists between people. Now, I want to make, many of you would be perhaps familiar with this distinction between what is the bird's eye view and a worm's eye view, but maybe some of you are not. And I thought this visual captured this idea of a bird's eye view very well. Now, very often, sociology is seen as a bird's eye view. It's like you're in an aeroplane or you're flying like a bird, and you look at the society from the top. You see it as an aerial view, and you can look at the many connections which are there, which you perhaps cannot see physically. Whereas a worm's eye view, the social anthropological perspective is looking at it from the bottom, looking at it from the everyday, where you sleep, how you sleep, what do you eat for breakfast, which school do you go to, what kind of clothes do you wear, how do you address your friends, how do you speak to each other, bottom up. Now, a sociological perspective captures both these dimensions. It looks at the bird's eye view, looks at it as a whole, a holistic view, a whole as an entity, as well as it looks at the details. Now, very often when you ask, what will I do if I do sociology? And you feel maybe I'll get a job as a sociologist. You perhaps won't get a job as a sociologist because there are very few jobs which is called a sociologist's job, like you have an administrator's job or a doctor's job or an engineer's job. But what you are equipped with when you take sociology is a perspective, the bird's eye view, the worm's eye view, the ability to interconnect, the ability to make connections, the ability to make sense of self and society. And this is something which Dr. Manju Bhatt will look at later, that this perspective or this approach will help you as an administrator, will help you as a journalist, will help you as a commentator, maybe on television, will help you maybe in the developmental sector, maybe in the NGO. It'll help you maybe as a teacher, maybe as a policy maker, maybe as a political activist, maybe as a social worker. It is a perspective which is the skill you acquire when you study sociology. This is something we'll do a little more in detail as we move forward. Now we come to this question of history and biography. And I was looking at the NCERT textbooks where we talk about the emergence and growth of sociology. We look at sorry, there was a telephonic disturbance. I forgot to put it off.
Ma'am, there is, I think, somebody asking something. That's again one of our teachers. Yes, yeah. Latika, you want to say something? I could see Latika. Yes, Latika. I'm sorry to interrupt, ma'am, but I just saw.
No problem. No problem.
Yeah, Latika. You want to say something? I think I don't know. We have Latika Agarwal, ma'am, here, and she's in charge of her humanities section. So I just thought maybe she wanted to say something, but okay, sorry, ma'am, but please continue. I'm sorry to interrupt.
Yeah. No, maybe we'll come back to her when I finish.
Yeah, that will be fine.
Yeah. So I just wanted to bring in this question of history and biography, and you may be finding that what relationship does it have to do with sociology or sociological perspective? Now, if you remember in your textbook, in your class 11 textbook, we talk about history and biography with reference to this very well-known sociologist called C. Wright Mills and the sociological imagination. And the reason I introduce you to today is to understand the holistic perspective of sociology. Now, very often we look at a textbook and these are the books and this is our life. This is sociology, a subject I have to do for my boards and I have to get so many marks, all very important. And this is the society and live, and we see a disconnect between them. In order to question that disconnect and make sociology more lively, more connected to us, I want to bring in this question that just like you have a biography, you're born somewhere, you grew up somewhere, sociology also has a biography. Sociology also has a specific history. It is born in a specific social context, it grows up, it travels, and reaches us inside our classroom. It is born, as you know, in Europe. It is born in the 19th century. It is born with the influence of Enlightenment, Industrial Revolution, capitalism, French Revolution. And you may ask, why am I going to that distant path, that also in Europe, 19th century? What is the connection between those strange things which were happening there, Enlightenment, Industrial Revolution, capitalism, French Revolution, and our lives right here, maybe in DAV school? There is a connection, and that discovering that connection is very much part of a sociological perspective. The emergence of the Enlightenment in the West was the questioning of questioning, asking questions, trying to find out causal relationships, trying to find out why does a certain kind of phenomena exist? How do we understand the laws and the causes behind it, a scientific procedure, a certain sense, a certain irreverent attitude, that instead of saying, oh, I believe in you because you are my teacher, asking, why does this phenomena take place? Why do many more students take science and many more take commerce than they take humanities? Asking fundamental questions. This questioning was central to the rise of an Enlightenment tradition. Questioning. In the Western context, we have a certain context of enlightenment. In our context, very often we talk about Buddhism and enlightenment, is the whole question of going beyond the obvious or the apparent, what you see, going beyond it. Industrial revolution, is it relevant to us today? Very much so. The system which came about in the West, I have spelled capitalism wrong. Sorry, industrial revolution and capitalism, which began in the West, is very much part of our lives today. In COVID-19, when we talked about the factories shutting down, when we talked about workers losing their jobs, it is that system which is still there, in perhaps in a more modified form, but very much there. Therefore, the questions and issues that were raised at that period of time continues to have a certain relevance today. French Revolution, the idea of democracy, democratic rights, citizenship, ideas about we, each one of us having a certain choice to say what we do, a certain right, goes back. How is it related to sociology? It's related to sociology because the idea of inquiry, the idea of debunking, the idea of questioning, the idea of individual rights are very central to the way social sciences operate. To understand its nature and scope, we therefore have to go back a little bit and say, okay, that is why sociology looks at any kind of object in this fashion. Take the example, if you ask in the normal commonsensical understanding that why do young girls, you ask a community which gets their daughters married very early, maybe child marriage, and you ask, why do you get your daughters married so early? They will say that, hamare mein aise hi hote hai. That is, the explanation is by saying that we do it like that. That is not the sociological approach. The sociological approach will say, okay, you are saying it's like that, but why is it like that? Is it because of the fear of women's danger in society? Is it the burden of an idea that a girl is a burden? You start asking questions which are different and which explore the reasons behind a phenomenon. One is therefore the way you look at society. Likewise, if you ask somebody, why is your mother tongue Hindi or Punjabi or Tamil? And you will say, what a stupid question this is, because obviously my mother tongue is like this because this is the language which is spoken at home. But if you look at Durkheim, and if you look at Durkheim's understanding of social fact, he will say, this is learnt, not given. We are not born Tamil. Just like we are not born Christian or Hindu or Muslim or English or whatever. We are made into it, the idea of social construction. If I was born maybe in a Punjabi family, Punjabi would have been my mother tongue. But I was born in a Bengali family, not out of choice, but it just so happened, and Bengali became my mother tongue. If you look at Durkheim, he looks at these very elementary questions and then tries to explain the social reasons for our personal practices and personal habits. So we have to understand, therefore, the construction of the self. also in the larger societal sense. All of you are very young, you're worried about your career, you're worried about your personal lives. Now, these personal troubles, sociology helps to show how it is a public issue. The sociological imagination connects your personal angst, your personal troubles with the reasons for its construction. Why do so many young people have anxiety? Why are so many people are stressed out? Why do you have to ring up a counselor to say, how do I prepare for the board? In my generation, we didn't have it. To realize, therefore, that personal troubles arise in specific societies at specific historical moments, just like sociology emerged at a particular moment when Europe was going through a transition and people were angst-ridden, anomie, alienation, estrangement. Weber did estrangement, Durkheim did anomie, Marx did alienation. They were all talking about personal trouble, personal feelings, but explaining it through a public understanding of the reasons, economic, historical, political, which explains this. Now, when many of you say, okay, we are talking such abstract time, the importance of a social science or sociological perspective is to make that connection between what appears distant and remote and abstract with our lived realities, our feelings, our emotions, etc. So sociology gives you both the skills and the perspectives. The skills are concrete. In your textbooks, they will tell you how do you do a field study. Supposing you have to study a factory. You have to study migration during COVID times. You have to study the slum. You are taught particular methods of data collection. You get familiarized with quantitative data, qualitative data. You know how to analyze it, you know how to tabulate it. That are your skills. You learn how to read, you learn how to write, you learn how to present an argument. These are very important skills. And if you learn these skills well, there is no way that you will not be employed in some form or the other. Along with these concrete skills, sociology offers us a perspective to make the connections between the particular and the universal, between the personal and the public. It teaches us both. And it is this that we'll have to sort of look at and understand if we wish to follow, what is it that sociology offers us. I don't want to go into greater details because perhaps, Dr. Manju Bhatt will be speaking. And more importantly, I would like to engage with the students and the teachers directly after this presentation. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Maitri, ma'am. I'm sure students got some idea. So when we are generally talking about sociology being the study of society, the web of relationships, so they will get a better understanding about what sociology actually is. And now we can move to Manju ma'am. Before that, Manju ma'am, Khushbu would be like introducing you first. Okay, over to you, Khushbu.
Thank you, ma'am. A very warm afternoon to all of you. Oh, definitely a cold one, but ma'am, with a lot of warmth from our side. Today, I, Khushbu Arya, on behalf of all the sociology students, extend a warm welcome to Dr. Manju Bhatt. So, like me, every one of you might be anxious that what next after studying sociology? How can it help me in my future? Well, so here is the solution. We have our special guest, Dr. Manju Bhatt, who will tell us about the scope of sociology. She has a work experience of more than 40 years, out of which around 30 years as the head of Department of Social Sciences, NCERT.
Not full 30 years, last 3-4 years I was head.
Okay, ma'am. So, as you all have heard, that our teachers say that NCERT is our Bible. So, she is the maker of all our Bibles. She has done PhD in sociology. She has also written a thesis on M.S.A. Rao's theory of socio-economic factors of infant mortality. And friends, she is also an author and has written many books till date. So now let's finally welcome her, Dr. Manju Bhatt. I would like to call Mannat to present a virtual bouquet to ma'am.
Thank you.
Ma'am, virtual greetings this time. Hope to see you in the near future.
Okay, I hope you accept our greetings, ma'am.
Thank you
Yes.
very much. Thank you.
Okay. Hanji. So over to you now, ma'am. So again, students have a lot of queries regarding what all can be done, the job prospects about after the study of sociology. So they usually take it कि okay, simple है, easy subject है, लेकिन what to do after that study. So that is what their main queries are about. So I hope you will address all their queries. Okay, thank you, ma'am. Over to you now.
Thank you. Students, you never think that if you study sociology, then what to do. There are many things, many fields today. There you can go and you can work it. But I would like to share, first of all, that sociology was never a school subject. First of all, NCERT in 1977 and 78, it was come to our mind that sociology should be a school teaching subject. So we have started, and earlier it was very few
Ma'am,
books.
sorry to interrupt. आपका voice is very less. Can you just, I don't know. It's not very loud enough. So,
Okay, I'll just try to increase some. Okay, I think it's a little bit
okay,
better.
okay. Thank you, ma'am.
So first of all, I would like to tell you that in sociology, very important job that was teaching. You can say, oh, teaching in a school. No, not only in school. There are so many fields where you can teach sociology. Nowadays, you can teach in schools, colleges, IITs, IIM, medical college, nursing college, law college. They are all institutions. These are having sociology as special subject. So most probably all students, सब students इसको sociology को पढ़ते हैं, compulsory है, because aptitude जो मिलता है, as Maitri madam told, that it is prepare your skills. You have to develop your skills, not only in one field but in so many fields. You have to develop your skills through sociology. So very nutshell and very few, I tell you that this is the beginning, that you can start your uh, future as a teacher. So there are not only one, but universities are also having, as Maitri is from JNU. So after that, you can go for, if you are a student of sociology, you can go for social welfare department. Social welfare department in every states they are having, and what you have to do there, main work is public relation officers. And in which field you have to work there? You have to work there in SC, ST, OBC, minorities, and plus special in as a special group women also. So these are the field where you are having study, you are student of sociology. So आपके पास एक स्पेशल स्किल है. इन चीजों सब चीजों को समझने के लिए आपको क्या समझना जरूरी है? आपको ये समझना जरूरी है कि इन फील्ड्स में क्या प्रॉब्लम्स होती हैं. एंड सिंस यू आर अ स्टूडेंट ऑफ सोशियोलॉजी, यू आर थिंग्स society in different manner. We sociology, we are not only study sociology in about society. We in sociology we study about every sphere of society. Like we have to, even we have to study criminology. Do you know criminology? If you are expert in criminology, you have having lot of job prospects in that field also. So many now अगर आपने कहीं कोई किसी केस के बारे में अगर आपने देखा है, तो वहाँ स्पेशल एक ओवरऑल उसमें सोशल, उसका सोशल रिलेशनशिप किस तरह से हुआ, किस तरह से हुआ होगा, उसके लिए सोशियोलॉजिस्ट वहाँ पे हेल्प करते हैं. बोथ सोशियोलॉजिस्ट प्लस साइकोलॉजिस्ट. समटाइम पीपल साइकोलॉजी ऑल्सो स्टडी. तो ये आपका नेक्स्ट हो जाता है. उसके बाद आप देखते हैं यूपीएससी एग्जाम्स है. यूपीएससी एग्जाम्स आपका, जिसमें कि आप ब्यूरोक्रेट्स आपके चूज होते हैं, आप उसके लिए स्टडी कीजिए. यू कैन प्रिपेयर योरसेल्फ फॉर द UPSC exams and prepare for yourself a bureaucrat. After that, In a state also you have this such type of services. UPSC is for the all India level, and state level exams also there where you can go and work in the state level. After that, you can go in the media services. In media nowadays, some journalism and some certificates and diploma and some degree they have obtained journalism, but they are in media, they have preference, they give the preference to the sociology persons. If you are a sociology student, because you have developed your skill to study in so many places, so many fields you can go and study. So, which type of people, which type of, suppose you are preparing a program, so you have to say, but I am preparing this program for which particular type of persons. So, which type of prepare you have program because you are a student of sociology. So, this type you can link your sociology knowledge there in this area. After that, in this advertisement companies, they are also, because you have prepared advertisement in different areas, so you know that how to attract people, that I am preparing this and this thing. So which part of this uh, thing, yeah, which type of quality you wanted to show in your product. So you have to prepare it like that. And I would like to tell you that I'm telling, as I am preparing for 15 minutes. So I'm touching these areas only, okay? And you can also go and study the detail in all these fields. Then architect, you can say, भाई architect में कहाँ से sociology आ गई, वो तो ईंट पत्थर वो है, ठीक है, लेकिन architect का क्या रोल है यहाँ पे? आर्किटेक्ट का रोल है कि जब ये आर्किटेक्ट का रोल छोटे लेवल पे नहीं, बड़े लेवल पे हमें दिखाई देता है. सपोज हमें अर्बन डिजाइनिंग करनी, यू ऑल नो दैट which is the first planned city of India. City is planned now. First cities are planned in is Chandigarh, and second is Tigri. Tigri is the second planned city of India. That is, we have planned and prepared a city where this. And if you will go and find out, there are lot of sociological studies when for the Chandigarh. So what is this, like Victor D'Souza, specially studied in the field of slum area. He says that there is no slum in Chandigarh. Some say no, there are some slums in Chandigarh. So these type of studies you can do in. Suppose you can. Suppose you have to going for the urban design. You know about the urban culture. You have to study culture in your class. You know how to study culture. What are the components of culture? How to study culture. So you can study better. So students of sociology can betterly see this. Now, one very important field, advocacy. Advocacy means it's okay, advocates work, but advocacy is so many fields there are in society where you can work, like child trafficking or child rights. These are a very, current issue and very important also. There, sociologists are working in this area for child labor, for child rights, for child trafficking, even human trafficking, girls trafficking. These are all very, I mean, uh, vital issues in our society. So we have to study, and as a sociologist, you can help your special skill to use it, and you can tell, yeah, it is, studied like that. And in sometime you say that government making some policies, some planning. In that also you can help them to go there and give your services to in that field. And after that, I tell you, it is not only national level, but international level also sociology is important. For example, in World Bank, you can ask World Bank कैसे important है. World Bank में sociology का आदमी क्या करेगा? Actually, World Bank बहुत सारे countries को लोन देते हैं. So before, sanction that loan, they wanted to know that what is the situation of that country we are giving, how they will use, is it really needed, or all situations. Sociologists will study and tell. So in that way, World Bank is having sociology person in their field. Then you can see that UNESCO is also having UNESCO. If you heard the name of Professor Yattal, Professor Yogesh Yattal, he was so many years he was there to represent India. And UNICEF, UNICEF is also working in this field. So now these are the different fields. Lot many fields there are today that sociologists go and work. You go nationally, internationally, so many. So sociology is not this subject you study it and close the book and now you can say okay. And all the best for you. And I think you can, if you want to more detail, today you have the internet facility with you. You just click all these some of the area and you will find that yeah, there is some prospects and sociologists can do like this. Okay. Thank
Okay,
you.
that was, yes, Manju ma'am, that was very nice. Even I was not aware that IIM and IITs and architects, all these fields are also, sociology is important. So even for me also, it was a very nice learning. And again,
I forget NGOs, lot of NGOs. There's
yeah,
so many.
NGO. So see, usually children feel key again sociology.
NGOs, I think most students know about that. NGOs are,
Yeah.
I mean, working with
So
the sociology.
हाँ, so that is what social welfare is what we link with कि आपने sociology पढ़ा है तो आप social welfare में जाएंगे and all या teacher. So they said हमें teacher नहीं बनना है. So that is, so it was nice कि there were so many various different fields that you talked about. Even like things like criminology and all, I think boys will be very interested in. वो उसमें कि कितना different field है and what is the importance here of sociology here. So that was also very nice. And we will now, I think there will be students might be having a lot of questions. So if you again, I'll invite the students, one by one, they would like to ask some queries. The lot of them have sent a lot of questions to me also. So first, again, all those who are present, you can have some questions. So over to you now, children. So one by one, if you have any query regarding the subject, regarding the job prospects after this. Okay, so we have Gauri asking. Gauri has raised her hand. Okay, over to you, Gauri.
So, ma'am, for someone who wants to study abroad, how is Indian sociology going to help? Because most of the sociology, like most of the part of sociology we are taught here is Indian. So, how is it going to help if you want to take up sociology, like as a subject abroad?
Maitriji, would you like to say?
You see, firstly, are you planning to go immediately after school? If you are planning to go immediately after school, are you planning to go immediately after school?
Actually, it's not planned. I'm just thinking about it that maybe.
Okay, the firstly you have to understand when you go for undergraduate abroad, you don't do the way we do in our country, sociology honors or political honors or history. You'll probably do a combination of subjects in liberal arts, and wherever you study sociology, a lot of it, and I don't think that what we are studying is only Indian sociology. From what I understand in the textbooks, you have two books, which is just talking about theory and methods, talking about history, talking about all these issues, which are the same. Sociology, that is why I was emphasizing it as a perspective. Once you understand that perspective, it's going to help you anywhere. It's very important, Gauri, to understand that sociology does not just teach you data. That अब तो मुझे समझ आ गया कि इंडिया में extended family ये होता और nuclear family वो होता. They make you understand how to understand family. Once you understand how to understand, तो वो फिर आपको, you can understand the American, you can understand the Nigerian. So don't understand sociology as the end product. ये data है. I know arts teaching and our system of education is such कि आपको लगता है ये facts बताने से हो जाएगा. But it's also a perspective. इसलिए मैंने अपना presentation. It will help. I have a number of students not just studying sociology abroad, they're teaching sociology, including some of the best places. Okay, so that is not an issue at all. And today, in the West, they want to call what is called an internationalization of the curricula. So if they want to teach a particular phenomena, they want to teach it not not just about America, but also about India, also about Sri Lanka, also about Africa, because that's what makes a university global, that you are able to connect. So I don't think you have to worry about that.
Okay, so we have Nishi also. Nishi is
Okay,
raising
ma'am.
her
Thank you
hand.
for answering.
Okay, I hope Gauri, your query got cleared. Okay, so over to you now, Nishi.
Yes.
Okay, Nishi. Nishi, are you there, beta? I saw your raised hand. I don't know, some connection. Okay, yes. She can't hear me now. Okay, anyone else, children, till then?
No, ma'am.
Okay,
Kanika Sharma.
Hanji, Nishi.
Voice
Okay,
recognition.
Kanika. Okay, till then you can ask Bache. Kanika.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, firstly, thank you so much for this lovely interaction. And my question is, as you have touched the code of criminology, so please could you elaborate the profession juvenile counsel? It will be really fruitful for me.
Manju?
Not only juvenile, counseling, so many other things. If you are study criminology, then sometimes you have to observe the criminal's behavior. Sometimes they have sitting, you are side there, he is not know that criminal को नहीं पता है कि आप वहाँ बैठे हैं, लेकिन आप उसको स्टडी कर रहे हैं, आप उसको देख रहे हैं, उसके अकॉर्डिंग आप बता सकते हैं वो सही बोल रहा है या वो गलत बोल रहा है. तो अंदर की चीजें निकालने के लिए, उसके मन में, माइंड में क्या चल रहा है, उसको ठीक से स्टडी करने के लिए भी हम क्रिमिनोलॉजी में करके और वहां पे जाके कर सकते हैं.
Can I come in 1 minute?
Sure, ma'am.
Yeah, because there are two things that I wanted to tell. One is, say, a concrete example that one of my students, for example, is in the UN drug controlling, UNIDOC or whatever it is called, where basically she's using her sociological skills to understand the practice of drug, network of drugs, supply chain, consumption pattern, etc. The other thing about criminology is very interesting. If any of you are interested later to study a lovely book called An Invitation to Sociology of Peter Berger, where he's saying that a sociologist is as interested to know how the policeman finds a crime as he is interested to know how a criminal plans the crime. Because the data that you collect has to be authentic. It doesn't have to be done with a moral purpose, but you must know. If you just try to collect data to please your police officer or to please your boss, then that data won't be useful even to the police officer. The data has to be authentic. So it's very important then sometimes to sit in the shoes of the criminal. Therefore, field work, qualitative data, ethnography.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. That was very interesting to learn about, and Kanika, I hope your query got cleared. So yes. The sociologist, it is not only the psychologist, but even the sociologist, very important role in learning about how the mind of a criminal is working. So criminology, again, as Manju ma'am has talked about, a very interesting field for the students. That's something, exciting also. The name itself sounds exciting. Okay, so who else, children? We can have more. Yes, who's that? Okay, Akshat. Okay, Akshat.
Ma'am, in other words, he's an observer also.
Yes,
absolutely,
a person.
Absolutely.
Yes, Akshat, it is. Okay, children, anyone else with your queries? Yes, Mannat, you had your query. You had, the query that you
Yes,
had asked now. You are here, yeah. Okay,
ma'am, I want to ask Manju, ma'am, that how sociology will work in a medical institute, how a sociologist will help a medical student.
Mannat, your voice is not clear. What you are asking?
Okay, ma'am, I'm asking how a sociologist or a sociology student will help in medical institute?
Yes, in medical institution, do you know, there are two branches of sociology. We have sociology of medicine and medical sociology. These two we are having, and in these when we are working, you know some type of specific patients are there. So for them, they are not needed medicine basically, but they are needed specific behavior, specific, I mean, how to relate with them. उनको society में वो useful है ये बताना है, वो कितना important है society के लिए, समाज के लिए, family के लिए, ये उनको बताना है. तो ये सारी चीजें दवाई मेडिसिन से नहीं हो सकती है. So sometimes this is work more than medicine, so it is helpful for in the field of medicine also, sociology, because you have the full importance, that what is the importance of a person, a unit in society, how it is useful for. तो आपको कई बार व्यक्ति सोचता है आई एम वेरी यूजलेस, मेरा कोई यूज ही नहीं है, मैं ओल्ड हो गया हूँ, मैं ये, उनको बताना नो यू आर इम्पोर्टेंट, एंड हाउ that you have to according to that their situation you can tell him, you build their self, I mean, that no I'm important. ये सब डेवलप करने का काम दवाई से ज्यादा एक सोशियोलॉजी पढ़ा हुआ इंसान जिसको इन चीजों को समझने की जरूरत है वो कर सकता है. एंड सेकेंडली ऑब्जर्वेशन आपने कहा था, तो हमें जब हम सोशियोलॉजी पढ़ते हैं हमें पता है कि हमें ऑब्जर्वेशन की जो स्किल है उसको कैसे एनहांस करना है, कौन सी चीजें हैं जिनको की हम ध्यान देना है, ये हम सीखते हैं. ठीक है.
Okay, ma'am.
Very good question. So I'm very tempted, Gunjan ma'am, if you could allow me.
Sure,
Yeah,
ma'am.
in our
Please go
university,
ahead.
we have something called a community health studies center. Okay.
Okay.
So, you know, the whole idea that the study of health is not a medical issue alone. It's also a social issue. So in COVID-19, for example, there are epidemiologists who say there are patterns you can see. For example, that who are the most people who are most vulnerable? How can we map which are the regions which will be most affected adversely? How will it impact older people? How it will impact younger people, women, children, so the issue of the health not being medical alone, but also social.
Okay. Okay. I can see a question on the chat box. Nishi has asked that can sociology also help in graphic design? I think to some extent what architect that Manju ma'am was talking about. Yes, Manju ma'am?
Graphic design is specifically, I don't say it is helpful, but मुझे लग रहा है कि ये जो हम जितने भी हमारे स्पेशल फील्ड्स हैं इसमें जो आर्किटेक्ट में मैंने कहा था उसमें बहुत ज्यादा जो हेल्प करता है वो, जैसे कि आपको इसमें पॉलिसी मेकिंग में आपको अर्बन डिजाइनिंग करनी है तो उसमें पॉलिसी मेकिंग में, पॉलिसी रिसर्च में, इन चीजों में कि उसके लिए हमें वो वर्क करना है, उसके लिए कैसी पॉलिसीज चाहिए, किस तरह का हमें काम चाहिए, वो सारी चीजें सोशियोलॉजिस्ट आपको बताएंगे. और अर्बन सेटिंग करनी है तो उसमें करेंगे, लेकिन ग्राफिक में स्पेसिफिकली मैं इस वक्त नहीं बता पाऊंगी कि, लेकिन अगर मैत्री जी सोच रही है कुछ है तो बता देती हूँ.
I'm like I said, not very familiar with what graphic design is, but what I do know is that in our teaching practices, we are increasingly using visuals. So in the blog that we are doing called Doing Sociology, we've taken the help of graphic designers to express a phenomenon. Supposing you want to explain, the life of students in school, which is a sociological topic, but people who are designers may be able to communicate it much better than a sociology. So it's not graphic design alone, but a combination of a sociological perspective and graphic design.
Ma'am, there was also a query regarding, the children feel that sociology is a subject more for girls because they feel वो NGOs and social workers and welfare officers, ये सारा जैसे हमारा एक stereotype है ना कि nurses are only female.
Women, yeah.
Yeah, that is what they also, somebody had asked, it is basically, is it only for girls, beneficial only for girls? क्योंकि जितने social workers हैं या welfare officers, tribal, so ये सारे females होती हैं. So is that so, that it is more for girls?
There is a gendering. That is the reason I began with that every discipline has a hierarchy. It has history, So economists, you feel, bade log economists ho jate, men. But there are bade men who are sociologists also, you have very eminent sociologists who are men, So sometimes, like you correctly said, Gunjan, we have stereotypes,
Yeah.
So you would have policymakers who are both men and women. There are sociologists who are both men and women. But our idea of the social very often is reduced to कि family पढ़ते हैं या marriage या kinship. This is about women, or gender. This is about women. But I keep asking, does a man not have a gender? So supposing women are more pressurized कि शादी कर लो, जल्दी कर लो. The men may be pressurized, नौकरी ले लो. अगर आप नौकरी नहीं लोगे तो क्या होगा? That is gendering. That's the process. Both men and women are gendered. And unfortunately, the discipline is gendered. तो कई लोगों को लगता है कि this is only for women. Empirically, and if sociology is the study of the empirical, then you can demonstrate it is not only about women, or not only women become policymakers, not only women become teachers or educationists or media or journalists. Sociology is very much gender neutral that way.
Gender neutral, yes.
Okay. Nikita is also, there is a student, she has written on the chat box, ma'am, does every college prefer sociology, criminology? And can you tell me the best college for that? Okay, that is okay. Nikita, we have, okay, ma'am, Maitri, ma'am.
I don't quite understand this question, because you know how admissions are done in colleges, right? It is, every college will have its own procedure. There's nothing like will they prefer.
Ma'am, I wanted to ask about the cutoff for sociology in colleges.
Oh, that's quite high.
Yeah.
Very high.
That is quite high in colleges here. But I can tell you one thing, that, that is unfortunately the fact in most, but many more places are opening up. Some of the private colleges are opening up with sociology, or private universities opening up with sociology. I have a feeling it's going to do well, and, expand. So it's worth it. But yes, as of now, since we don't have it in all the colleges, the cutoff is pretty high.
I just want to share one, एक बार ऐसा होता है कि एक बच्ची थी, उसको सोशियोलॉजी में ऑनर्स चाहिए था. जीसस एंड मेरी कॉलेज में उसने अप्लाई किया, एंड दैट टाइम आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट लिटिल बिट अबाउट 10-12 years बैक, एंड उसका परसेंटेज था सम 89 एंड समथिंग, और उसको सोशियोलॉजी नहीं मिला था. हिस्ट्री मिल रहा था, सोशियोलॉजी नहीं मिला था. तो आप ये मत सोचिए कि सोशियोलॉजी का परसेंटेज हाई, अभी तो 95 भी जा रहा है, तो बहुत हाई जाता है सोशियोलॉजी का परसेंटेज कॉलेज में.
It is quite in demand, yes, a very demanding, yes. Yes. Okay.
I would like to tell you one more thing. When we started in NCERT, I joined NCERT in 1988. So CBSE told us that we are having some question papers. So can you check? So it was only 150 students were there only in whole CBSE who opt sociology. And now you ask your teacher how many 7, 8, 9 batches they are preparing centers, and they are evaluating question paper. So it's become very popular now.
Yes, it's quite a popular one. And can ma'am elaborate more on the civil services part, because there are children who are aspiring to take up all that IAS thing. So your UPSC wale. So what is the importance of this subject in the UPSC field?
Can I just budge in, Gunjan, just for a moment?
Sure. Ma'am, yes. We have our principal ma'am here, ma'am. Maitri ma'am and Manju ma'am. Our principal Reena ma'am has joined. Okay, yes, ma'am.
Yes, good afternoon to Maitri ma'am and Manju ma'am. It was so nice. I've been here since the past 10 minutes or so, and the kind of information that you people are giving, and the need, that feeling which is there evident in your conversation, where you want to tell the students everything that you know about, is something which is a wealth which these children are getting because of you. So really grateful to you for joining us and for communicating with our children so very well.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay,
thank you. You can continue with the session. Thank you so much for joining. Okay, ma'am.
Yes. Okay, Hanji beta. Gauri, you were saying something, bache? Yeah, ma'am, Maitri ma'am of civil services ka you were explaining about that. Yeah.
Yeah. Sociology in the practical terms, I think it's a subject which a lot of people take. You have to take a particular subjects, right, in which you would do. Like apart from general knowledge, you will have to take a specific subject. So I think a lot of people take sociology. Many of my contemporaries joined the bureaucracy through sociology, took as a subject. It's a very popular subject, both as Manju's already mentioned, not just IAS or IPS, but also the state civil services. We have a lot of people who join the state civil services as sociologists. So yes, for UPSC, it's very good. It is also something, I just want to give an example of its use. When I wasn't getting a job, and since all of you are worried about whether you'll get a job, I got involved in a kind of particular research which was on desalinization of water. That is, there was a project somewhere and water was very saline, perhaps Rajasthan. And people couldn't drink it, people were falling ill. And so they planted a desalinization equipment which would purify the water. But it wasn't working, nobody was using it, and the villagers were fighting with each other. And they said, and the people who are doing it, who are basically technologists and engineers, they said, we need the help of a sociologist. Because in our villages, the issue of water is linked with caste and gender.
Yes.
Okay, so can women go there? Where will this water be located? Will people of such a community go to that part to get the water or not? And unless you understood village society and the dynamics of class, caste, ethnicity, gender, power, which are all concepts. So it's not Indian sociology when you study power or when you study stratification, is valid for all. So I think the possibilities are enormous. Possibilities are enormous.
Okay. Okay, so anyone else, students, anyone else who has any query that is still left unanswered, though we have, I think both of them have covered, tremendous thing. So is that it? So over to you, Gauri. Okay, Latika again. Latika ma'am is asking something. Okay, Latika.
Yeah, good afternoon.
She's a pol science teacher in our school and our, head of department for our humanities section also, streams. Yeah.
And good afternoon.
Yeah, thank you both, Maitri ma'am and Manju ma'am. I just wanted to say, when I was hearing the entire session, that the day in India we realize that sociologists are important because they deal with human beings, and the day we realize that for every aspect, I think the humanization of everything will take place, and majority of the problems which we are facing with the so-called urbanization and other issues will get sorted out. So I think sociology is the need of the hour, and thankfully we are realizing that slowly, and this batch of children who are opting for it. And ma'am, personally, I can say I've been in the school for 30 years. It's in the last 10 years that we have started having students willfully choosing humanities as a subject. And that change, I think, is for the best thing. And I hope this trend continues with teachers and lecturers like you and our own efforts, small efforts in this direction. So thank you, ma'am. It was an excellent lecture.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Latika. Okay. Thank you, Piyush. Okay. Gauri, over to you now, bache.
Yes, ma'am. Firstly, a very good afternoon to everyone present here. It gives me immense pleasure to deliver the vote of thanks to all the dignitaries who have joined in. I would like to thank Professor Maitri, who has not only achieved wonders in India, but also embarked her name as a sociologist abroad, and Mrs. Manju Bhatt, who is the author of 2 very renowned books and a lot of publications, for enlightening us with such useful information. I must say that as a student who is still very new to the subject and its scope, functional facts like some essential sociological concepts, understanding of sociology in modern and historical times, and of course the nature and scope of sociology will come out to be very handy in future. And at last, a big thank you to our principal ma'am and all the staff members for arranging such a wonderful event. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you to all the students also for being a patient listener. Okay, so thank you, ma'am, Manju ma'am and Maitri ma'am. Okay, so we can end our session with this now. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, children, you may sign off now. Hope you are enlightened.